Really, a humbling experience, to be honest with you. And our guys, man, played so hard in this game. Both teams did, but both teams, the kids on this field that had opportunity to play for this game is one that everybody would appreciate and everybody would enjoy, because every kid on both sides of the ball played their tails off. Every kid in both teams played their tails off, and an excellent high school football game. And, going back at it, there's so many key things that we talked about going into that game that we knew had to happen. I mean, the first thing that really set the stage early was our special teams. Gabe Russo, sophomore punter, the very first punched the ball, and we down on the 1 yard line. It really close to getting a safety on that particular play. And continued. Gabe kicked 3 balls inside the 20, and our punt team did an outstanding job of keeping them on that side of the field. And we knew going into the game that we wanted to be a clock management type situation, and we felt like our defense was going to play really well. We really liked our defensive plan against them. And so we knew that we were going to, not take too many risks, with trying to go for 4th downs and trying to do too much on 3rd down, because we knew that our punt team could back them up and keep them backed up. We wanted them to try to drive the distance of the field, and our defense played excellent, just hard-nosed, 3 turnovers. One of them was pick 6, our first touchdown. As a matter of fact, was a pick 6 from sophomore LJ Green. Did an outstanding job of reading the hitch route, jumping the hitch route, and taking it to the end zone. And then to end the game, our second score was set up by a pick from Pat Ryan. So we had a pick that scored, we had a pick that set up our second score, and then we have a pick to end the game in our own territory. And so 3 huge defensive turnovers, 3 interceptions that led to basically the outcome that we had in the game. And but we wouldn't have had the defensive performance if it wasn't for Gabe doing such an outstanding job on his 6 punts of keeping the field flipped and keeping it on the outside. I tell you what, in the last punt, we're backed up. There's a minute, a little over a minute, right at a minute left in the game, and the snap was an outstanding snap. And Gabe handled a tough snap and got the ball off and got the ball on the other side of the field for us. And I was just really proud of that sophomore punter that really stepped up and really kept the field, kept them on the other half of the field for us, and that played big dividends. And our defense finding a way to get those turnovers. Every single week, Coach Jay keeps those tabs, and he demands out of those guys to get the ball and get turnovers, and it really paid off Friday night for us. Offensively, moved the ball, had several good opportunities. 123 yards in penalties, 12 flags to their 4. And negated yards, not penalty yards, but negated yards, we had 183. We take away, there's 60-yard touchdown called back in our last possession on a tough call on a block by our wide receiver to play side, and it was tough. That happens on Friday nights. So that big 60-yard touchdown run got negated, and but our guys offensively constantly, it's not that we didn't move the ball. Our guys did a great job moving the ball. I think in the first half of the game, quarterback Kelly McCreary was 9 for his first 10, but then we went through the second, third quarter where we went on stretch where we were having a hard time getting the ball completed, so we had to make some adjustments. And there towards the end of the game, in the fourth quarter, Jeremiah Cobb and offensive line really stepped up and started getting some serious yards on the ground. And really proud of how we were able to use so many different personnel groups, from using a short yardage package to what we call our alpha package, which is another extension of our short yardage where we use some of our defensive guys in key situations. And, we're going in after Pat's interception, we're up 6-0. And we got that opportunity to either kick a field goal to go up by 2 scores or put the ball in the end zone. And the guys, our alpha team came up to me, those guys in alpha, said, "Coach, we'll get the ball in the end zone. Give us the ball, put us back out there." So we went forward on fourth and 3 from the 4, and we got it to the half-yard line. Unbelievable effort by Jeremiah Cobb, launching himself towards the pylon, and it was really close for him even getting in into the end zone. And we get the ball on the 1 yard line, first and goal, and we put it in 2 plays later. And so that was our second score. But again, using everybody on all ends, from our kicking game to the special teams, from defensive players playing offense to the end of the game, an offensive player who hasn't played corner all year stepping in and getting the pick. So our players, our guys made the plays when it needed to matter. And to give us that victory, and regardless of position, regardless of what their true role is, and what, the unselfishness of this football team really came out and made the difference for us in a region championship game. Going into this week, we're traveling to Goshen, and a place that we haven't been at. I haven't coached at before. Coach Bart Snyder's an outstanding football coach. He's a friend of mine. I had the privilege of coaching his son Brock in the North-South All-Star game a couple of years ago. And Coach Snyder's a good man that's got a really good football sense, and he's got a good football staff. And we're going to travel down there with the mindset that this is the next game that takes us on a road to win a state championship. And we're going to take one game at a time, and this is the next one. And so we want our guys, and we've talked about it all week in our preparation, everything that we're doing, that we got to continue to play great. We got to continue to practice great, because we do not want any step backs or setbacks that set us in for week one. So we want to make sure that we are at full steam ahead, that we're still in rhythm, that we do everything we need to do to continue to be, when we touch that field on November the 6th here at Montgomery Catholic in the first round of the playoffs, that we need to be ready to go. And anytime you have an off week. We've talked about moving around here or there. I'm glad it is where it is this year, and I think every year is a little bit different. Some years we'd love to have it in the middle of the year. This year it's at the end, and it kind of gives us 2 weeks to prepare for our round one opponent. So it worked out really, really good for us this year, because we match up with Region 1. We match up with the Mobile, Bruton area. So we're going to get either a Bayside Academy, Hillcrest Evergreen, Cottage Hill, or a Flomaton. All those teams are extremely well-coached, good football teams. And so it's going to be really important for us. However that region shakes out, we should know a lot more. We won't know everything. We won't know all the answers after this week. It's going to be until the end of next week when we find out exactly who we're going to play. But it's going to be really important for us to make sure that we continue to move forward. So this off week's good. The off week next week is good for us to be able to prepare for a very, very good football team that's going to come to our place in 2 weeks. It's going to be extremely important this Friday night for our guys to stay in rhythm, to continue to do things well, to demand that we're living up and practicing and playing to the standard that we've set, and making sure that our guys are staying in focus. And I had an outstanding day yesterday in practice, where guys competing against each other and holding each other to a high standard and making sure we're giving outstanding effort. So I'm really excited about going into this week, because our guys have continued to hold themselves at a high level of practice. And if we can continue to do that these next few weeks, we'll have an opportunity to play well and be at our top of our game when the playoffs come around. Catholic Night Nation, tune in this week, 96.5 Praise FM. If you can't go, there is several tickets. So right now at the front desk, Miss Newell at the very front of the high school, she has tickets for sale. They're $8 each. Going into Goshen this week, we will probably have, and there's an extra 150 tickets. So if you're interested in making the trip down to Goshen, I know it's been so difficult with us trying to play and you getting able to see us. This is a good opportunity for you to be able to get down there with the parents on the band and football and cheer that are getting organized and ready to go. There's going to be plenty of extra tickets lined for this one. So if you haven't had a chance to make the game, you're a grandmama, your aunt, uncle, or you're a student at Montgomery Catholic or alum and you live in the area, there is tickets available. They're here at the school. You can also email me and I will help too at the same time in getting that together. That's ablackwell@montgomerycatholic.org. Love to have you down in Goshen. Love to represent Montgomery Catholic really well at Goshen this Friday night, 7 o'clock at Goshen High School. And so if there are tickets available, if you can be there, be there. If you can't be there, the best high school football announcers in the state of Alabama, Justin and Mike Costanza, will be live on 96.5 Praise FM. So tune in to Catholic Nights Football Radio if you can't make the trip to Goshen. Also, make sure you continue to check out the NFHS Network. We are live on the NFHS Network, and our games are live streamed, especially at home. So be on the lookout for playoff tickets. Playoff tickets won't go on sale for another couple of weeks. So if you're interested in being at that first playoff game, the same restrictions are going to apply. They're not as strenuous as they were. They've kind of loosened up just a little bit. So there may be a couple of extra 50 or 100 tickets available come playoff time. So make sure that you do that and you check in. If you want to see the Knights in action, please do so. It's whichever team comes out of Region 1, they're going to be a good football team. There's going to be a battle that first round of the playoffs. So make sure you tune in to do that. Thank you so much, Knight Nation. Defending region champs back to back. Really proud of these Knights and this 2020 football team and how they've overcome so much adversity. Thank you for all you do, and go Knights.